What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And oh my goodness, if you have been sleeping on Kansas City Chiefs news this offseason, today is the day you wake up, because we need to talk about something that honestly, when I first saw it coming together, I had to sit back in my chair and just take a breath, because nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, saw this one coming the way it's shaping up right now. We are talking about a legitimate, real, credible, make it make sense reunion between the Kansas City Chiefs and one L'Jarius Sneed. Yes, that L'Jarius Sneed. The same man who wore that number 38 jersey and made wide receivers' lives miserable at Arrowhead Stadium for years. The same guy Brett Veach traded to the Tennessee Titans back in March of 2024. And the same player who, after a genuinely rough couple of seasons down in Nashville, is now a free agent sitting on the open market, just waiting for the right call. And people, that call might just be coming from Kansas City, Missouri. Now, before we get into all of it, if you are new to this channel, do me a favor right now, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, because this video took real work and real research. And if you are a die-hard Chiefs Kingdom fan, this is the content you came here for. Let's get into it. Let me set the scene for you, because context is everything when we're talking about a potential reunion of this magnitude. The Chiefs shipped off their do-it-all defensive back L'Jarius Sneed to the Tennessee Titans in March of 2024. And in return, they received a 2025 third-round pick and a 2024 pick swap. At the time, it was considered a solid deal because Kansas City simply couldn't afford to pay Sneed what he wanted, and Tennessee could hence the trade. So Brett Veach, being the chess player that he is, maximized his asset, got draft capital back, and the Chiefs moved on. The assumption was that was the end of the L'Jarius Sneed chapter in Kansas City. Close the book, flip the page, move forward. And for a while, that seemed totally fine. The Chiefs had Trent McDuffie, they had Jalen Watson, they had depth. Life was good on the perimeter. But then 2025 happened. And then this offseason happened. And suddenly, everything changed. Heavy sports. The Kansas City Chiefs are undergoing a major roster reset after going 6-11 to finish off the 2025 NFL season. Let me say that again, 6-11. For a franchise that has been in the Super Bowl conversation literally every single year under Patrick Mahomes, that record hit differently. It hurt. The fan base felt it. The organization felt it. And now, going into the 2026 offseason, Brett Veach and Andy Reid are in full rebuild mode, trying to figure out how to put the pieces back together around the greatest quarterback of his generation. And the secondary, oh man, the secondary, is where things get really uncomfortable. Yahoo Sports. Brian Cook, Trent McDuffie, Joshua Williams, and Jalen Watson are all gone from the secondary. And it's possible the depth chart at cornerback is almost entirely comprised of new players in 2026. Think about that for a second. All four of those guys gone. McDuffie, who was literally an all-pro caliber player, was shipped to the Los Angeles Rams. Watson, who had developed into a reliable starter, also walked out the door. The Chiefs are essentially starting from scratch at a position that is arguably the hardest to rebuild quickly in today's NFL. Cornerback takes time. It takes reps. It takes chemistry with your safeties and your linebackers. You can't just snap your fingers and create an elite secondary overnight. And that's where the desperation, the legitimate, understandable, totally justified desperation begins to creep into the conversation around L'Jarius Sneed. Arrowhead addict. The Titans released Sneed at the start of the NFL's new league year, and rumors are percolating that the Chiefs could sign Sneed to a cheap one-year contract to add depth to their suddenly decimated secondary. Now, here's where it gets really juicy, because the Tennessee situation with Sneed was not pretty. Not at all. Sneed played the first 5 games of the 2024 season before suffering a quad injury that persisted and kept him out for the remainder of the year. He underwent a knee procedure last May, and he was limited to just 7 games last season. So across 2 entire seasons with the Titans, Sneed played a grand total of 12 games. 12 games on a 4-year, $76 million contract. You can understand why Tennessee said enough is enough. The Titans can save approximately $11.4 million by releasing Sneed, and that's exactly what they did. And just like that, one of the most talented cornerbacks of his generation is back on the open market at just 29 years old, looking for a lifeline, looking for a fresh start, looking for someone who believes in him again. Newsweek +2. And here's the thing, here's why this reunion makes so much more sense than people are giving it credit for. Kansas City already knows this man. They know his injury history, they know how to manage him, they know what he can and cannot do, and more importantly, they know exactly how to use him. Sneed was a perfect fit inside Steve Spagnuolo's defensive system, and he worked better as a Swiss Army knife than a traditional Sabone. That's actually part of the reason things didn't work out in Tennessee. They needed a true number 1 cornerback, and Sneed's versatility was almost wasted in that role. But in Kansas City? In Spagnuolo's defense? That versatility is a superpower. That's what makes him dangerous. That's what made him a fan favorite and a critical piece of back-to-back-to-back Super Bowl championship runs. Heavy sports? During his time with Kansas City, Sneed racked up 303 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 40 pass deflections, and 10 interceptions. 10 interceptions, people. 40 pass deflections. This was not a mediocre player. This was a guy who was the Swiss Army knife of Spagnuolo's defense, the guy who lined up everywhere, who played outside, inside, who blitzed off the edge, who dropped into coverage, who disguised coverages better than almost anyone in the league. And the beauty of a potential reunion is that nobody is asking Sneed to be that guy at full capacity right now. If he's a Chief again, Sneed wouldn't be asked to fulfill the same role he had in the past. With first-round pick Mansour Delaney starting, and the duo of Nohal Williams and Christian Fulton also present, the veteran could play a supporting role and provide valuable scheme familiarity and leadership, while the coaching staff assesses whether he can still play. That's the move. That's the smart play. You bring Sneed in, you keep his role manageable, you let him contribute at a pace that doesn't destroy his knee, and if he lights it up, you've got yourself a steal of the century on a cheap 1-year deal. Yahoo Sports Illustrated. Now, let's talk about the financial side, because nothing in the NFL happens without money being part of the conversation. Per the NFLPA's public salary cap report, Kansas City is estimated to have just $6.9 million at its disposal, and that's before the entire draft class is signed. So the Chiefs are not walking around with a blank check. They cannot go out and sign a cornerback to a 3-year, $45 million deal. That's not the reality.